Wonderful listeners and viewers of Living Radio and Living Television 90.9. Welcome again today. This is another wonderful edition of your Odyssey. I'm sure you enjoyed what we did here last week on Issues of the Moment. In Issues of the Moment, we talked about a man who had also, though we've not known his own true Odyssey, I'm talking about Professor N.C. Felix Orago, who used the palm oil to invent aeroplane oil, and it moved. And after 56 years back, the Indonesia today are on it. They've been able to discover such. And exactly that is why it is always important to listen to addresses of great men who have worked all through their life to ensure where they are. That is to say, talking about legacy, left behind. Today in Odyssey, this is the part 7 of Odyssey of St. Moses, as our fans will call it. They refer to it as Odyssey of St. Moses. Well, you heard how he was able to, St. Moses Vocational School or College, how he was able to fall in line and was able to carry the students along, even when other proprietors stood against him for not registering properly, and God saw him through in there. We are going to continue from there. How did St. Moses Vocational College fare? Why is it no more today? And then what has happened to it? Did it metamorphose or did it die a natural death? That's what we're looking at today. And also in the studio with me, as usual, is Mrs. Ogbonna. St. Moses, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
Right, yesterday, last week, our viewers and listeners also listened to how St. Moses Vocational College grew from strength to strength after hiring some students who were eventually your brothers, who now brought in a lot of students to an extent to get up to about 500 students and more. And then with that number of students, you were almost the best within that your period. What happened? Let's start from there.
Yeah, you see, it was very eventful. God was there present. We were able to graduate the first set of students who took their RSAs and their GCs. But within this period, I faced a lot of challenges, mostly spiritual. And when you do not know you have a God, it is your belief that will prove that you have a God. I remember the first event that happened. I was going to church. I've already told you I'm a member, pastor of Seventh-day Adventist Church. I'm still a member. Will still be a member of the ladder high, even though I attend synagogue, the TB Joshua stuff. I believe in that church, I believe in the man, I believe in the wife, I believe that God is in that church. On this day, even before, when I never knew there was a man of God like that, I was going to my church from Mboko, the Ziaman verse. By then I have had a Kawasaki. I was using, growing from bicycle, from hired, borrowed ladies' machine to bicycle, and now to my own Kawasaki.
As a result of the numerical strength of the
students. Students have grown. We have grown. We were now a school parents were proud of. At Eketa, as soon as I passed Eketa, up to the SDA church at Amoha, I saw a very beautiful lady. Very, very beautiful lady. She flagged me down. And I stopped. I said, please, can you take me to Eketa? I asked her, are you sick? She said, no, you're not sick. I said, she's not sick. But you want me to go to carry you to Eketa? You think I'm a cyclist? He says, she knows I'm not an Okada person. Then why should I turn and take it? So I won't do that. I'm going to serve my God in my church. I started my mission and went. In the evening, by the time I returned, look at the crowd in my house. What's the problem? One of the girls living with me, it was the sister who had died that was coming to visit her. I wanted to manifest to me so that I will be able to know. So when I came, she was, manifesting the way people with demons. I've not had those experiences before. You see, she no longer knows what she's saying. That the sister has come to take her. Say, which your sister? Say, come on, who are you? In the name of Jesus, I want to talk to you. Come on, look into my eyes. She refused. I slapped her. She looked into my eyes and we locked. I said, yes, my friend, I want to talk to you. Who are you? She said, did I not see her on the way when I was going? And she begged me to carry her. And I refused. I said, who are you? Say she's the sister. She mentioned her name, that she has come to visit her. I said, you, come to my house to visit your sister. Come on, when you live here. I commanded her. She left. That was the first encounter. And then when she left, the lady fell down. I've never had that experience before. Now, after that, on another occasion, I had a brother who, do you call them cousin or what? Those who were born in, the mothers were born in their family.
Their cousins.
Cousins. That boy died in a swimming pool at Abuja. He went to visit his brother at Kainji. The brother happened to be an engineer there on one Christmas. The boy died there and was brought home. We buried him in their place at Ayaba. In fact, at the time we were burying that boy, we were very few that saw the corpse because of the nature of the death. He was supposed to have been buried by the swimming pool. And I trained that boy. He was living with me. I trained him in electronics. He was always telling me that he will build a swimming pool. When he makes money, that he will build a house and put swimming pool. Eventually, in the end, he died in swimming pool. He went to visit the brother, and by the time there was no telephone now, the brother never knew he was coming. So they swapped out the way. Now, when I came back on this beautiful day, there was a crowd in my house again. What's the problem? They say that the boy Udo came to carry the sister that is living with me. I said, Udo is dead now. The girl was just like that. I said, come, calm down. Who is it? He said, it's Udo. Where is he? I said, look at him. And of course, I can't see anybody. I don't have the gift of seeing. So I don't see them. I said, okay, Udo, can you come in? Let me talk to you. He came into the gate. I said, who are you? Say his name is Udo. Where are you from? He said he's from Kide. I said, what took you to Kide? He said he's dead. I said, you know you have died. He said, yes. You know you have died. He said, yes. Hey, what have you come? He said, he has come to take his sister. And that they say, why? Say because he likes her. You like her? That boy had two brothers that died during the war. I said, where are those? Are you with them at Kiden? He said, no, it's only his most elder brother that is with him there. So what is he doing? He said he's a trader at Kiden. He said, yes, it's okay. That's why certain mysteries about this world, my brother, there are areas you cannot fathom, you cannot understand. And when you are certain church people will be preaching, certain that. So there was this man, he was the HPM of Ogbonna there. I'd like to mention his name. He was my beautiful friend, one Okachalo. Was my friend. In fact, he was my backbone at Ogbonna when the proprietors and the one emoji no go. When the proprietors come against me, it is them that will approve whether you will match or not. So they will listing my school's name to match, but partake in every function that the government occasions them. I went to his office. In fact, a lot of people were in the office. Ukachali said, hey, come. I saw one Dr. Joshua Ogbonna. At that time, he wasn't a professor, he was doctor. Do I know him? I said, it's my twin brother. He said he went on a seminar at Ibadan. And that person was a resource person who lectured them. And I came here to deceive people. Mount on upstairs to pretend I have gone to school when I am an illiterate. That I should get out of his office. That I should never enter his office again. That he thought I was educated. That he never knew I was an illiterate. Kai. Oh boy. I was so ashamed. I left his office. On this period, you know, proprietors never had money. Whenever we close school, you will wait until school resumes. And being a new school, I wasn't having enough money to save for the rainy day. So it is when school resumes that I will make money. If school closes, my brother will go to manage until school resumes. That's why I tell everybody, every youth, there was a day I was given an award by Writers Association. And the students that came there, I told them, look onto your palm. That is where your destiny is. It is not your father. It is not your mother. Everybody's destiny is in his palm. What you make of it is what you are going to become. And my brother, we went home. All of us used to go home because we don't have any house there. It is our senior brother's house that we used to sleep. And we have an uncle that was living in Lagos. Only him will come back and collect key from our senior brother and tell everybody, look, I have come back home. And when he opens the door, everybody will go in. The day he's leaving is the day everybody will leave. So on this beautiful day, everybody wants to leave in the morning so that he will lock the door, return the key, and go back. Every other person will go back. And I didn't have cover. I asked my brother, please, I don't have money to take me to Mboko. Please, can you give me money? He said, pray to God, he doesn't have cover. And I believed him. Because of the way we related, when I was in the bank, man, I was lavishing money, giving money. If you have the spirit of giving, you must be a giver. I was giving, buying things for them. It was this my sister that says, don't rely on anybody. St.Moses, go to school. I never believed her until that night. When I asked him to give me, how much would he have given to me? 1 naira. He carry me, in fact, a very big money. Say he doesn't have shishi. And the only money he had was the one that will lead him back to Uturu. I said, okay. In the night, because I used to pray every 12 midnight, I looked for my Bible because God wanted to open my eyes. I didn't see my Bible. Everybody has packed. He himself has packed. But on top of his box was a small zipper Bible. I took that Bible, unzipped it to pray. My brother sees 60 naira. Then, Kai! I looked at my brother snoring. Every bit of the word my sister told me then returned down on me. That it is me that will make me, nobody else. Prof, I wept that night. I wept. I stole 5 naira from that wood.
From the money.
I didn't pray again. Zipped back the Bible, placed it back. Early in the morning, I left before them. Dropped my bag and went straight to Zenkwa school. That was where they were selling jam from. And bought jam from.
With the 5 naira.
With the 5 naira. How much was jam from? That was 50 naira. 50 kobo what? So I bought jam from, filled it for philosophy, to read philosophy in Oyo. By then, Cross River State University. That was how, when the result came, and I got admission. Instead of reading law, I was now giving philosophy. I closed down St.Moses.
Okay, that was how St. Moses come to an end. And then, what happened to the students who were part of
I asked everybody to leave because, apart from what Okachalo told me, that I was still bitter about, what my twin did to me was an eye-opener. I never held it against both of them, but they were the people that charted the course for me to be where I am now. Without what they did to me, my brother, I would have still either been a proprietor to be competing with the fallen proprietors, because all the proprietors who started that time, none of them exist now. I would have been part of the fallen proprietors. I wouldn't have been a lawyer. I wouldn't have been when I am today.
All right, before sitting for that jump,
that's why I want to say something.
Okay.
That's why. Don't look at what people do to you. Look at the resultant effect of that thing. Maybe if that thing hadn't happened, I wouldn't be where I am. Maybe if he had given me that money very graciously, I wouldn't have bought to jump for. I wouldn't have been in university. It is not how anything happened that we count on. It is what that thing results to that matters.
Okay, shortly before the closure of St. Moses Vocational College and before you get to the jump, to the level of getting a jump and so on, Abinos, what happened to you between you and your brother and the man that called you an illiterate? Were you in any way planning to go to the university?
No way now, that wasn't part of my planning. I was planning to have a permanent site. In fact, up to a point we had to, the landlord there came and told me he has increased his house and gave me put notice that I must live there. He said, he said he is not leaving my house until I have given him money. And you know, the landlord then was, I don't want to say it openly, but he wasn't a very a person you can deal with without any document. And there was no document between me and him. All the monies I paid to him, there were no receipts. He came, he said, do I know I have not paid him? I said, what of the ones I paid? He said, forget that one. You will pay me so, because he has seen that school has grown, and he wants to use it to hold me to ransom and collect money from me. And the kind of money he was demanding, my brother, even if I gather the whole students and levy them, it will not be enough. He said I should leave his house. He invited his two wives and told them, this is who I am. I will not live here until this man gives me money. And the wives, do you know what they told me? We have seen where the last place our husband is. If anything happens to him, we will hold you responsible. I said, Dave, why are you doing this to me? He said, St.Moses, give me money. You don't give me money, I won't live here. Do you know what I did? I said, let me write check and give to you. He said, no, I can't collect check. I said, collect check. I have money in the bank. And to this weekend, Monday morning, go to the bank and collect the money. He said, if I don't see money there, you know it is bounce check. I said, how can I give you a bounce check, my landlord? Say, okay, write the check. I wrote the check, the exact amount he needed. And at the back of the check, I wrote, being final payment of my arrears with him. I signed a wrong signature and gave to him. He went to bank in the morning. They stamped the check and wrote at the back, return to the owner. Hey, this man halad. He said, now you are in. I said, they don't be annoyed. What happened? He said, they said you gave me a wrong signature. You signed wrongly. You did this. I said, I'm sorry. Take cash. I gave him the cash he needed. Collected the check back. You know what I told him? You have given me receipt. Because he had accepted the check, being final payment of the amount I owed him. I told him, Dave, you think you know much. You don't know anything. I am from Amako, Odyssey. You cannot come here and dupe me. So I collected the check. He looked at me. Say, you look too small. But the brain in you is what it. So from there, I closed the school, transferred my school to another place at Omocha, where there was one hospital there. That hospital was closed down. The man who used to own that hospital was one doctor, Ogbonna. If you very close to the late Eze at Mboko there, there was a very big school compound. So we packed in there. My students were very happy that we had left the uncompleted building. That was where St.Moses ran into another trouble. Before then, immediately after that incident with the proprietors, I now ran to my friend Eze at home, who used to own Eze Memorial. He took me to Lemedin, the then school supervisor. He was the chief inspector of education there. We agreed with him, paid everything he asked us to pay, and we had a date for him to come and inspect St.Moses Vocational College. He came with his team of inspectors. My brother, I had 8 departments then, well equipped. We had the weaving 75 looms in the weaving section. We had the hairdressing department. We had the electrical department. We had the sewing, department, fashion and design. 8 departments, well equipped. Remember I told you that was the time we had 6334 system of education. and many schools were being earmarked for it. There was many of these schools that were seen as having enough space and the buildings to be given senior secondary schools. Federal government was building workshops for them, which workshop was stuffed with equipment, but no teacher to teach. Lemedim came with his team of inspectors. The moment he arrived and saw the uncompleted building, he asked us, my friend, is this the school? They said yes. You know what he said? He said, no sane man will approve this school. He said, everybody enter vehicle, let's go back. So why are you doing? Let's go up now. He looked at the warehouses downstairs. Of course, all the students are now in the workshop upstairs. He said, where are the students? I said, they are upstairs. He said, there's nothing to see about this place. You want me to be a fool to come from over and inspect this school for approval? Nobody, no sane man will do that. In fact, the other inspector said, Oga, we don't reach here now. It wouldn't take us anything to go up. I took them up. I had 40 typewriters. Because the whole up was workshop, department by department. The moment this man climbed up, the first thing he saw was the weaving department. Fully traded. He said, is this part of the school? I said, that is what you have come to see. Walls don't teach. It is
human beings.
Human beings are the equipment that make a school. And that is the mistake we are still making today. Parents look at names of school, buildings of school, how beautiful. They don't care to look at the equipment and the standard of the teachers in the school. Who do the actual teaching? Where the actual learning is being gotten. It's like Living T15 Academy. I do not think there is any tertiary institution that has the kind of equipment we have here. The people will look at the building. They say, as if it is the building you have come to learn. The same thing happened to them. The inspectors scattered themselves. Oga, come this side though. They saw typewriters. Oga, come this side though. See furnitures we have built. Do you know what he did? He said, Lemadim turned to me and said, who is the owner of this school? Because I was very small.
We're too small to
Very
own
small.
a school.
I said, okay, I'm going to. He said, yes, no. Do you know what it has taken the government to try to establish what I have done? How do I do it? That I should write a memo for him that he has given me approval for senior secondary here and now. My brother, I told him one thing. Your schools can do it. Yeah. Do you see this teacher teaching shoemaking? He says shoemaking in Aba. When it is time for him to teach shoemaking, he will come here and teach them how to sew shoe, and go back
to his business.
I don't need to employ him. And you don't have teachers who study the shoemaking at school. Most of the teachers you have in the secondary and technical schools are people who didn't train, technically. They read the theory. In fact, most of them, all the students that do, what do you call it, media, in the tertiary institution.
Yes.
Many of them come here, they have not seen camera for the first time. And they are graduates of mass communication. Many of them saw radio station first here, TV station, how films are being directed. They saw it first here. But you remember one of the lecturers we hired. She said, this after graduating, had masters. The first time she touched the camera was here. I remember she was following the crew members'
Members.
locations for shooting. That is the problem we are still having in this country. We are interested in the length of your certificate, the name of the school you attended. Nobody is interested in what. By the time 6334 system of education was introduced, that has been the best and the only solution to our unemployment problem in this country. But it started, it never took off.
All right, wonderful listeners, and I'm sure you've heard this, how St. Moses Vocational College ran and how it also ended. It didn't just stop it, nothing stopped him, not even the government. It was even at the verge of his approval that he decided to call it quit because he needed to educate himself. You know, he was insulted, calling him an illiterate when he was running such a big school and so on. And today, finally, before we go, don't you think that vocational college would have metamorphosed into a university by now?
Yes, my problem is having one who can run it. Because it is like here now. If you come here, you will see the much we have invested in. None came one day. If you are not logical in what you are doing, systematic, you will do the last thing first. And if you do the last thing first, the first thing can never take off. It's like one who wants to build a house and you buy zinc, buy planks.
Without a foundation.
And their money finished. You cannot put any block on the ground because there's no money for it. So the logical aspect of building a big thing without money, I never had somebody who can do it for me. So it's like here, if I want to quit here, I'll quit here. I won't give it to any other person because everybody who come here thought there was a time I had a very accumulated money fund and sank into here. No, you buy one microphone today, you buy another one tomorrow. Gradually, it grows. So that was why I never handed the school over to another person. I shut it down, sold all the equipment, and left for Uyo, where I studied philosophy.
All right, wonderful listeners. I'm sure by the next episode we're going to know how he failed in Uyo, University of Uyo. He went in to read philosophy, and also he's also today a lawyer and CEO of a Living Television and Living Radio. And then we will also look at that. But one key thing that one must readily understand and know about him and this Odyssey is that he had only elementary sex. And he never entered into any secondary school before sitting for WAEC, or rather GCE, and he was able to make his papers and go to the university. And at this point, remember, he was already an orphan, I'm sure.
Chairman of the orphanage. I survived Biafra without parents.
So when a lot of people say they are the way they are because they had no parents, nobody to assist, and so on, I think St. Moses Ogbonna's story is enough to encourage you, is enough to tell you that you can.
You must become what God says you will become.
Yeah.
He said, ask, you shall be given. Our problem is seeking. We get weak in seeking. And whenever you seek, because it has been given, you must find it.
All right, so it is important. It is a wonderful encouragement. It is not all about your parents. That your parents are poor does not mean you're going to end up being a poor person. You're created and given birth to that family to rewrite the history of that family. And that's exactly how it is. This is just the beginning of the story. We are getting deeper. And then I'm sure you're going to get a lot of more revealing things concerning St. Moses Ogbonna and his eventful journey. On this note, this is where we'll be drawing the curtain today. Very soon, by the time we get to the 10th edition, our phone lines will be open so that if you have contributions and questions, you can also ask. Most of these things, if they are read in a novel, it look as if they never happened. It will look as if it is a fairy tale. But thank God you are hearing it from the horse's mouth. And it is important to learn from it. Nothing can stop you. You are the only one who can stop yourself. And that is where we are calling it a quit today. Until we come your way again, I remain your anchorman, Orator Chinedum Gosanadele. And thank you, St. Moses, for being part of this today. Thank you for coming to the studio again.
Thank you. Keep watching.
Remember, it has not ended. You haven't seen nothing yet. Many more are coming. Stay tuned. Bye for now.